Get it with another YouTube video. And in today's video, we're doing what I want to see from the Spider-Man, I guess PS4 sequel. The reason why I say I guess is technically the game's called Spider-Man, but in case you were wondering, yeah, I call it Spider-Man PS4 because it originally came on that. And I don't know, it's just a habit. But yeah, pretty much a Spider-Man video game. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I can't remember if they confirmed it, but it's pretty. You can pretty much see though that they will be releasing a Spider-Man video game sequel to the Spider-Man game. Now we have gotten Spider-Man Miles Morales as well. We've gotten two games from the Sony Spider-Man video game, whatever, like video games. We got the Spider-Man one and the Miles Morales one. Both of them do have post-credit scenes showcasing that we might see some stuff in Spider-Man 2. And yeah, and then they're probably making a sequel. So I thought that was really interesting, and I felt like I wanted to do a video on it. So I was like, why not? Let's do a video. Yeah, so Miles Morales and Spider-Man, the first one, were really good. I believe Miles Morales has a bit of a gap in between Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales. I think if they do a sequel to Spider-Man, I think what's gonna maybe happen is Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2 might take place after Miles Morales because we're not too sure exactly where Miles Morales takes place. I think they may have said it in the beginning of the game, but I think it might be like a couple months maybe after the first game. So yeah, that's important to note because if you realize Miles Morales is Spider-Man in that, and he's full-fledged Spider-Man, he fought the corporation and everything. So it's possible that we see kind of a Spider-Man game where we see Miles Morales a bit in it, and I definitely think that might be cool as well. Yeah, but personally, to my own self, I think I much prefer them not staying apart, but like I would enjoy Spider-Man having his own game kind of thing. I'm cool with Miles being in it, but I personally much rather be seeing one Spider-Man, not two. I really like. Don't get it wrong. I like Miles Morales, and I really hope he gets a sequel to his game, and I hope he can play as him more. It's always been to me that one apparent thing to me is always that Miles Morales ends up losing someone, and that's usually Peter Parker. Peter Parker usually dies, so that's something very important to note as well. And like his dad died, but Peter usually dies, and he takes up the mantle of Spider-Man. That's how it usually goes in the comics. It goes like that in the movies, TV shows, and stuff like that. It's always that, and Peter's still alive here, and it's kind of complicated to see what exactly happens because who knows, maybe we'll get like a Spider-Man and Miles Morales video game where you could play as two of them or something like that, which I think could be all right. But I personally right now I think I would enjoy a lot Spider-Man as well, just by himself. uh yeah, that's enough of that. But next up is like the story wise. So Spider-Man does a really good job in story wise. It's really well done. They I don't know how long they were working on it, but I'm pretty sure for the Miles Morales game they were working on it for maybe 3 years. I think they were probably working on it since Spider-Man One did so well. So yeah, that was really well put as well. So Spider-Man Miles Morales still needs DLC and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll talk about that a different later on in the video. But uh, yeah, again, they do a really good job with story wise in the first game where they incorporate basically the Sinister Six. But the story is a bit two parter because if you notice, some of the game he's going after Martin Lee or Negative Man, I believe it's called, and then part of it's going for the Sinister Six. And plus, they're incorporating so many different other characters, like supporting villains like the Shocker, Tombstone, Taskmaster. They're including those guys in the game. So yeah, and there's important to note as well that Spider-Man has a huge rogue gallery as well. So like he's got like at least 20 villains that they could put easy. in there. Like, yeah, he has a lot of villains, and again, like they could use again villains from this first game. Like, I would suggest not putting Rhino, but like you know how they used Rhino as not a supporting, yeah, kind of like a supporting villain in the Miles Morales game, for example. And they could probably use like I don't know, like Vulture, maybe even upgrade the role of Shocker, and maybe make some of it come, or maybe even they use Octopus because I don't believe he died in the game. I don't think I could be mistaken, but yeah, if he's alive still, I would heck, like to see a cameo from him maybe. And he's just like trying to give information on the bad guy. Uh, and the next thing is who the decision on the villain. Like I just said, they can upgrade one of those supporting villains to a bigger role. Or, but I think what the next game is probably going to introduce Green Goblin or Hobgoblin or something like that. I think, yeah, I definitely think that because in post credit scenes, we've seen that Harry's in some kind of BAFTA tank looking thing, and I think he was exposed to maybe the Green Goblin serum or something like that, which definitely could be interesting because I'm thinking that maybe Green Goblin will be the villain for the next one because we do know Norman Osborn is there and stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely would like to see uh, Green Goblin versus Spider Man. I think that would be really cool. And yeah, I liked how they incorporated the Sinister Six last game, but we gotta remember Green Goblin is the arch nemesis of Spider Man. Uh, yeah, so I definitely think it would be really cool to incorporate him in. And yeah, story wise, I think you fight. I think my perfect story would probably be like you fight like one of the how like the role Shocker played in the first one where he's just randomly there. I think you upgrade his role a little bit and you fight him for the like the quarter of the game. Then you figure out Green Goblin who that is, and then you're starting to try and find him. You're fighting, getting some clues and stuff, and then yeah, you kind of get like the big reveal. Is it Harry? Is it Norman? Is it someone else? I think that would make a perfect game, to be honest with you guys. And then, yeah, the next thing is going to probably be the time it comes out. Because if you realized, Spider Man, the original game, came out in 2018, and then the Miles Morales game came 2 years later in 2020. So it's kind of difficult to say because you gotta remember Spider-Man had gotten DLC like in 2019. Plus they remastered it, so I'm not too exactly sure. And plus Insomniac, the people who do Spider-Man, made the Spider-Man game. I believe they are working. I think they have some part in working on the Avengers games. And I'm expecting probably definitely some more Sony games with like Insomniac. I think their animation style is really good. I think it's realistic. I think it's awesome the way Insomniac does it. Uh, yeah, but yeah, so yeah, I realized there's like about a 2 year gap. Plus, they had to make like DLC and stuff. So, in full honesty, because of world circumstances, I'm gonna take a guess and say this video game could come out 2023, maybe even late 2022, maybe. Because if we're doing 2 year gap, I would say 2022, but again, world circumstances, they have to like work. They still have to do more. I hope they do more DLC for. I hope they do more DLC for the Miles Morales game. So that's gonna take some time, as well as you gotta do this game good. Cause I really don't mind waiting like 3 years for the next one if it's gonna be a good game. Like I much rather like that long kind of storyline with that we got in Spider-Man 1 as opposed to the Miles Morales storyline, which was a bit shorter. But if they really have to, I'll accept the Miles Morales kind of length of storyline. But I would just honestly rather have the Spider-Man storyline. So yeah, I much rather have that. So yeah, I would personally, I would think it'd be alright if it came out 2023, 2024, maybe. because you gotta remember as well. They could make other games, like they could make. I honestly don't think they'll make an Avengers sequel. And plus, the Avengers game was also worked with Square Enix. Sorry about that, my thing just scrolled down, but yeah, like they have to make other stuff like that. They may even make a Miles Morales 2. Uh, yeah, there could even be more games that we don't even know, like more Marvel games or something. Or Insomniac could be working on like an Uncharted. I don't think they're working on Uncharted, but another Sony exclusive game, like a story game, maybe like uh, I don't know, like Last of Us maybe or something like that. Uh, or I don't know if that's PlayStation exclusive. Never mind. Or even if Insomniac would work on that. But yeah, you never know. But anyways, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.